Some dreams are born in the quiet corners of our childhood, whispered to us by the wind. For Shriya Shah-Klorfine, born in Nepal in 1979, that dream was a mountain. Not just any mountain, but the highest one of all, Everest. Even after moving to Canada, building a successful life in Toronto as a fashion buyer and wedding planner, the call of the summit never faded. By 2012, her goal was crystal clear. She would stand on top of the world. Shriya was a go-getter, a woman who made things happen. She ran her own business, SOS Splash of Style Inc., managed political campaigns, and embraced life with a vibrant energy. But Everest was different. It was a challenge that required more than just ambition. To make it happen, she signed on with a guiding company called Utmost Adventure Trekking. Their package was on the lower end of the price scale for Everest expeditions, a choice that later drew criticism from the seasoned climbing community. The guide firm was new, her own high-altitude experience was limited, and the 2012 climbing season was notoriously crowded. Still, Shriya was determined. The financial cost was staggering. The expedition itself cost around $40,000, but with flights, gear, and other expenses, arriving at the mountain, the reality of the challenge began to set in. The 2012 season was exceptionally difficult. Bad weather caused long delays, creating dangerous bottlenecks on the narrow climbing routes. The mountain was packed with people, all vying for a shot at the summit within a very small window of good weather. Experienced Sherpas who observed Shriya noted her slower pace and below-average climbing skills. They expressed concern, but she was resolute. On May 19, 2012, her summit push began. It was late in the day, a risky time to be heading for the top. Many climbers were already on their way down. Again, she was advised against continuing, but turning back was not in her nature. She pushed onward and upward into the thin, unforgiving air of the death zone. This is the region above 8,000 meters where the human body can no longer acclimate. Without supplemental oxygen, judgment fails, physical strength evaporates, and every step is a monumental effort. And then she made it. Shriya Shah-Klorfine stood on the summit of Mount Everest. She had achieved her lifelong dream. She unfurled a Canadian flag, a moment of pure triumph against impossible odds. But in mountaineering, the summit is only the halfway point. The descent is often more dangerous than the climb, as exhaustion and dwindling oxygen supplies take their toll. For Shriya, the descent turned into a nightmare. Her strength gave out. Her oxygen ran out. She collapsed near Camp Phu, still clipped to the fixed rope line that climbers use for safety. Other climbers, making their own desperate descents, found her there. Witnesses later reported her final, heartbreaking words, "Save me." But at that altitude, in those conditions, rescue is a near impossibility. Everyone is fighting for their own survival. Shriya Shah-Klorfine died on the slopes of Everest, just 33 years old. Her death, along with several others during that brutal 2012 season, sent shockwaves through the climbing world and across Canada. It sparked a painful but necessary public conversation. Should someone with minimal experience be attempting the world's highest peak? What responsibility do commercial expedition companies have for their clients' safety? Are the lower-cost packages cutting corners on crucial resources like experienced guides and sufficient oxygen? The climbing community was divided. Some argued that Everest should be open to anyone with the dream and the determination. Others insisted that the mountain demands respect and a deep well of experience that can't be bought. They argued that the commercialization of Everest had created a dangerous environment, where inexperienced clients were put at extreme risk. Shriya's body remained on the mountain for some time, a grim and silent reminder of the stakes. Eventually, her family arranged for it to be brought down, an incredibly difficult and expensive operation. Back in Toronto, memorials were held. Friends and family gathered to remember the vibrant woman they had lost, a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur who had lived with passion. Her story forces us to look beyond the simple narrative of chasing a dream. It highlights a complex web of factors: personal ambition, the commercial pressures of the Everest industry, the unpredictable fury of the mountain itself, and the critical importance of judgment. Shriya possessed immense courage and drive, but on Everest, that isn't always enough. Her tragedy underscores the harsh lesson that the mountain doesn't care about your dreams or your determination. It demands preparation, humility, and the wisdom to know when the risk is too great. It's about knowing when to turn around, because the true summit is making it back home. Shriya Shah-Klorfine reached the top of the world, but her journey ended there, a cautionary tale written on the highest peak on Earth. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into incredible true stories. Stay curious and stay safe, eh?